All right, I have some good breaking news for you. I got some good breaking news from you. Reported to me by God. Okay? I have some good breaking news for you. Reported to me by God. I I, I know that there is anyway, I know that there is news on the television news, but I got some good breaking news. Some good breaking news reported to me by God. See, it's a reason why we cannot go off of what we see, right? It's a reason for everything. And everything has a reason. But not in the reason that we think it to be, you know? It's not that. And if you are religious, you will miss it. You will miss it, okay? And I just want to bring you some good breaking news. Some good breaking news for the believers and unbelievers alike out there. This is Freedom from the Night as we get off into the tales of the supernatural and we go off into the spirit of things. Now, I know I've heard so many people say that it's not about the spirit and how the men who in the streets they riding for they brothers and all that different stuff. They look like they riding for their brothers, you know. But these are the loyals that I spoke about. These are the loyal men that basically they look like they haven't changed their life, but they have. They just still in that environment around the people that they're still around. You understand? But this is not saying nothing bad or good about it. What I'm saying is that they need some pull. They need somebody to go over there. And I'm just praying right now as I'm talking. Every word I'm saying, I am praying that somebody go over there and pull them out that crowd. And when they think they got that somebody that is going to pull them out that crowd, that person wind up being the same friend that the other friends were. So that's why I say it's neither good nor bad. And we can't judge them. Understand? We cannot judge them because of what they doing. Like the Father says, we can't judge people just because they eat meat and you don't, or just because they what else? In a lot of other things that the Bible says. We can't judge them because they eat meat and you don't. Basically, I'm gonna say that and leave it at that. And think about that. Understand? Can't judge them because of that. I know that there are a lot of people trying to get it out and say the things that we're not to do. But these people need a pull from where they are. They know it's wrong. And they know it's right. Whatever it is they do wrong, they know it's wrong. Whatever they do right, they know it's right. They need a pull from it. From being around somebody that they always running into the same like faces. And it always wound up being something of the same. See, we gotta not look with these eyes, but we got to understand what it is that God is telling us in spirit through our senses. This is why I keep saying this over and over again. I keep saying this so many times, like this is not about what we think this is about. Okay? This is not what we think this is about. There are a lot of men out there that are loyals. And women that are loyals. And people, and every person they think is the good person wind up having some physical problem. Some physical, mental problem. And then they wind up being like, dog, I ran into the same situation when I'm trying to run out of it. So we cannot say that when they die, the loyals, because like I said, some loyals wind up dying in the end. But this is another version of the loyals. This is some extra versions of the loyals in the report that I got from God. That these some people, and it stirred up in me when I was looking at some of the deaths that took place over times. And I'm gonna name the names. I know some people say I'm not gonna name the names because blah blah blah. I'm going to name the names, okay? I'm not finna be fearful of naming no names. Who do we think we are? Anyway, so I'm gonna name number one name that keep coming up, and his name is Vaughn the King. Vaughn the King. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Vaughn the King. Anyway, I'm trying to but that's the way it's saying it, okay? Vaughn the King. But I don't know, you switch it around or keep it the same. Somebody out there know what I'm saying, okay? But this message has to be relayed to the people that know exactly what I'm saying, okay? Just like the situation that I was reporting about, I can't remember his name right now because I'm supposed to focus on this. But I did a video about another guy and him dying because of his two brothers. And everybody think it's one brother and it's the other brother, but no, it's both. Like I reported, it's both. Both are in agreement of the same. They're trying to rise up off of that one loyal person. And that one loyal person went out because of being a loyal. You understand? And the thing is that loyals are able to change they're able to change who they are, which I was a loyal. And I made it out. Although I did experience a death because I got so angry at the people that I was around that I wound up having 4 strokes and I was out. I was out of here. That's how mad I got. When I woke up and I realized the people that I was around, which was my family, I was a family person. I wasn't a friend person. Some loyals are a friend person. Some loyals are a family person. Some loyals are a family and friend person. And so I wind up getting out of my body and was gone. Pronounced dead and everything. Okay? But then I remember Jesus coming into my life and told me to say his name 3 times. Now I told y'all all about this. I told you about this already. And please share this with somebody. Like and subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. Get the channel up. Okay? Because this is some good breaking news. This is stuff that people don't want to tell you. This is stuff that some people don't even understand, so they don't even want to listen to it. But I still have to report it because you need to get this in. You need to know this. Even if you don't understand, even if you think I'm weird or strange, and ain't nobody got time for that. Get some time. Listen to this video. It's going to come in. It's going to feed you right. Believe me. Believe God that this is going to feed you right. It ain't going to stir you wrong. I'm telling you. In spirit, it's going to be working you up. And you're going to wonder, why am I doing such and such? But you can still be living the same lifestyle, but yet you doing things a certain type of way. That's because what I'm saying to you is real. It's real. It's not something that I'm just coming up with. Even I don't even want to speak about this, but I got to. You understand what I'm saying? And this is for my children out there. You're not my children, but I'm saying this is for in honor of the children. Okay? Listen up. Listen up. Hear me. This is for you. mostly for the children. And the grown children too. It's for you. It's your time. It's time for the first to become last and the last to become first. Because the last going to be the first to know, and the first going to be the last to know. Do you understand? Do you understand that? Because they not looking where they supposed to look. They think they know, but they don't know. So let me finish this up. I remember, and I don't know where I just left off at, but I'm going to start here and start over where I need to start. All right. So I remember one day I was taking my son to school. This is when he was back in, what grade was that? 4th grade? It was 4th grade. And I was taking him to school and stuff like that. And I remember I was like, man, this school sucks. I remember saying that too. I was like, this school sucks. It's not one good child in this school. Like, it's not one good child, because I'm looking at the outer shell of these children. I'm looking at the outer shell of these children and looking with my religious eyes. You understand what I'm saying? That's still religious when you just looking with your outer shell of the appearance of things. That's religious. Don't matter if it's a believer or unbeliever. If you looking with these eyes here that we can see with, that's automatically bloodline religious. Do you understand me? Automatically bloodline religious. Cut. A wrap. Religious. I don't care if you go to church or you don't. Religious. File in the game. Religious. Do you understand me? Okay, good. Now let me continue. So I'm looking at them with the outer appearance of things. I'm like, it's not one good child in this school. Mind you, this lady, she was always coming up to me saying, hey, how you doing today? And every time she see me, she always real happy to see me. And I always say, hey, how you doing? And she's an older lady. And she's older than I am. And she had her grandchildren. And all grandchildren appear to look like they some bad kids too. Oh yeah. They looked bad because they was jumping everywhere, going everywhere, doing everything. And she also allowed these children to go where they want to go, do what they want to do. And I'm not saying that what I said about how we can't do what we want to do, because we cannot. We cannot do what we want to do. I mean, but that's the point of all. But I'm saying that these kids, these children were able to go outside the house, is what I'm saying. They were able to go outside the house and go to friends' houses down the street. I mean, when I was a kid, I was doing the same stuff, okay? And people thought I was a bad kid too. But internally, I was not. I just needed an out. I needed an out, okay? And I did find an out for myself. I did find, and it's just a short little story for this little moment, but then I'm going to go back, okay? But I did find an out. And guess what that out was? Me being by myself. Now, did I have a situation with me being by myself? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did have a situation because I was used to going outside, being outside, doing what it is I wanted to do with nobody telling me what to do. But inside the house, the new house that I was in, where I got adopted from, because I didn't have a mother and father in my life, but in the house where I got adopted from with this marriage couple, it helped me. Even though I was getting whoopings for doing different things, like getting suspended from school for fighting and stuff like that in my time when I was younger. But that married couple saved my soul. Not saying that married couple had it all together, because they did not. They had situation, but them in that bond together that they had at that time together, I needed that. I needed to sense that. And God kept feeding me with that little moment that I had with that. Okay? And every time I seen a married couple outside, and I seen more married couples than I did singles, I was able to put it into a figure of an image. And then that's when I seen angels all around me, coming to me, talking to me when I was by myself. And then that's when I started taking visits off and on my grandma's house. And she was like, Sean, don't talk to yourself. Don't talk to yourself. That's not good. But it was new to me to do this, because I wasn't talking to myself. It was angels with me all around. And I wasn't able to say it out loud. I wasn't afraid to say it out loud at that time. At the time, to me, it was a real situation, and I didn't know, nobody didn't know that angels was here around and all of that. Like, I didn't know. I was still a little child. Okay. And I was around about, how old was I? 5. Yeah, I was 5. I was young. Okay. Yeah, I still remember too. Yeah, I was 5. I don't remember everything, but I remember the points in which I'm supposed to, in order to tell the story that I'm supposed to, because the Father said that I needed to remember these things when I was young, so I can be able to tell it now, because now I understand what so that I can always know what the children are going through. But I'm not saying that I haven't had my sets of situations where I had to also learn from the children that I actually had. And it's still that I'm still learning from them every single day. Or, whatever may come up that day, I'm still learning from my own children. Okay? So basically, I had a situation happen to me when I was a young child. So let's get back to what I was talking about. How there are children out here that we don't see for what we need to see it for. And let me make this short. Okay, let me stick to the script, okay? Because again, there are children. This older lady, even though she allowed her children to do what they wanted to do. Okay, this going back to the story that I was saying. But me, that was me. That was my story. That's what I did, and that's what was happening. Okay, through that situation. But and again, like, my mom came back into my life over time. Okay, but she wasn't fully there. She was off and on. Okay, but I forgave my mom many years ago when I started talking with these angels, and these angels were speaking to me. Okay. And then later they guided me, and then when I got my time alone, back to my story again, when I got my time alone, guess what? That's when I got grown and stuff started happening, and God said, now you have God. Because I was still harping over the fact that I did something, and the woman that raised me was mad and angry at me at the time. She still to this day is. Some people still don't forgive, but I got a forgiving heart. I have to. I'm sorry. But I'm sorry, not sorry. Okay. But then when she wouldn't accept me, God said, now you detach yourself and you have me now. And so then that's when I started doing stuff. And then that's when I went back to the family and started doing the same stuff all over again, and responding the same ways that I was at first. But I was still shy, timid, quiet, didn't speak as much. And then that's when they did something, boom, pow, a pow boom moment came, and I was like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. On the inside, it wasn't expressed because I wasn't used to expressing myself. But it all hit it at once, and I got so angry internally to where the enemy got me. And then that's when I fell ploop in my house. Nobody was there. Not even my daughter at the time, who who was born. I had her to go visit them, and she also was going to her father's house. And so I was there by myself, and nobody was there, and boom, there was that. And I remember the father, after I had those many strokes or whatever, and I can't keep saying that because that's just that. I don't want to call it like that because it's not that no more. In Jesus' name. You understand? But I did have to repair after that situation. I did have to repair myself because there was a lot of stuff that I couldn't do. And that includes walking, talking, and all of that. Always out of breath, couldn't do. Okay. Yeah, after that. But I'm back up and rolling now. Okay, I'm back up and rolling. I don't got to take no medicine, no nothing, none of that. So, and I didn't have to do that neither back at that time. It's just that's when I got the Jesus vision coming to me, walking up to me, to my being, and told me to call on his name 3 times. Because it was these witches, it was 3 of them on the mountain that was trying to take my life. If I would have went out that door, I would have got because they was deceiving me. And but luckily they got blown to smithereens, and I didn't do it, and I wound up coming back into my body, and that's when I had to redo everything all over again myself. Understand? Okay. That's when I had to do everything all over again myself. And I was praying over my body a lot, and I always noticed that a lot of stuff was just coming and coming, and then that's when it fully took place over time. Because as I was praying over my body, I wasn't doing it every day. You understand? I wasn't doing it every day. Sometimes I forget to pray. Sometimes I'll do this but the Lord wanted my dedication, so I had to pray every day, and in the hours that I was praying. So, and not to say that I still didn't go back into trying to attach myself to my family through a man who was just like my family. I still wind up going right back to my family in that area. So I'm just saying, I still ran back to the same thing that I was used to, and that was this guy. He was my family, all wrapped up in one. And his family was just like my family. So it was like I ran to that situation and I almost lost my life too. But I made it out. You understand? Either way you can make it out. And it be those times that you have by yourself that you can't do. Like when I was young, I couldn't do it. But I wound up doing it. And I noticed how good it was. Even though I was getting mad at the people that was forcing me to stay in the house, I was getting mad at them and everything. But I did not never dishonor them. Never dishonor them. I just got mad and was crying behind the closed doors and stuff. But I'm telling you, that time alone helped me. That time alone helped me. And that's the reason why I was able to move by myself out from situations easily. I didn't care nothing about nothing in that way. And then every time I got time to myself, I was able to function correctly. But it's that time to yourself. I'm gonna tell you this note right here. Take this note down. It's the times to yourself that you gonna need loyals to get out of the things and the peoples that you are around. If you are consistently working, I understand that it's gonna take still some time to yourself that you gonna need. And I know that you're not gonna barely get it, and before you get it, it may be a death that happened, and then sometimes people not gonna even make it. But what I'm saying is, this is to the ones that is still here. Run away. Get that time to yourself. If you got to, run away and go back if you are supposed to, but don't go back until the Father tells you to. That money gonna still be there. but run away. If you cannot get no time to yourself, even if you go crazy by yourself, take that stuff and get that time to yourself. It's needed. It's going to help you. So again, I'm gonna keep this short and narrow. Again, that lady, she that's something that God brought to me, my religious eyesight. And she said that the Father told me that there are still children out here that are honorable, which brings me to the subject that I'm trying to get to. Okay, that there are children out here still honorable, and we thinking that because I was one, and we thinking that they are some bad children, and so we put everything that we see off on every child that we see act like that other child that we just saw that was bad. But we don't know we messing up the children because of our religious eyesight about them. And now I've learned and still learning. But I'm saying at the point where I've learned but still learning, I don't treat the children like they are children. I don't treat the children like they are adults neither. I treat the children just like they are God's children. And I'm not saying that I don't mess up, because I do sometimes. Sometimes I could be in a rush and I may do and forget. But then later God gets on me about it. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, I can't. But lately, I have been treating the children not like they are children. I have been treating the children not like they are adults, but I have been treating the children like they are children of God. Whether it's an adult child or a child, okay? I don't care. But adult children are a little different than children, okay? But I'm just saying that the honor that's on the inside of them is real. It's real. And honor is real. It's some people that's not honorable. They don't care about who you are. They don't even care about who they are. So, and when I say I don't care, I mean I don't care about who is in my way. I don't care who in my way. If I'm serving God, I'm gonna serve him. That's it. That image there is powerful. It's very powerful. And so when I seen that image, I knew exactly what it was. And then I seen Jesus. He turned halfway. Well, he always take a side eye at me, because he always be on the side of me all the time. And when I was praying one time, it was just overwhelming, and I saw his face. Okay? I saw his face. And I don't know if a person gonna believe me or not, but it's real. It's so real. So, back to the children. It's a lot of children out here that are not the same. And we treating people, even grown people, treat other people the same, like they know these people just because we seeing them. Like people treat people a certain way because they got gray hair. And they still want to utilize their gray hair. And they okay, and they don't got no problem with their gray hair. It's people who got gray hair and they dye it. They dye their gray hair, and you can't tell if they young or they old, that get mad at the people who got the gray hair. They always get mad at them. And I don't understand the attitude. I be like, wow, what are you so angry about? Oh, you got gray hair, but you dyeing your hair. Oh, I get it. Yes. Them be those people. And then it be the ones that come around you talking all the time. And then they always like, man, I had this gray hair and I got to dye it. Them be them people. So you got different people. Those who kind of come up to you directly with the attitudes, stank attitudes. And then those who indirectly come to you with the stank attitude, but they ain't talking directly at you, but they is talking to you, but they talking to somebody else, indirect towards you. Yeah, them. So you got those type of people that are around you that won't, that's acting like everybody is the same. We all ain't the same. Just because you saying something don't mean I'm gonna comply. And that's another subject pertaining to this situation, is that a lot of loyals don't comply to what it is that other people want them to comply to. If I'm saying the word right. And it's a lot of people that have job assignments that they are required to do, right? And like I said, Von the King, or King Von, and it's a lot of other ones that are dead now that were soldiers of Christ. Let me hurry up and say that. They were soldiers of Christ. Now, you're not going to believe what I'm saying because you're looking at the physical aspect of these people. So King Von, or Von the King, I don't know his name, but it keep coming up in my vision or whatever, and in an audible voice or whatever. But it's not only him; it was other people too that have lost their lives for being loyals. Okay, and they didn't want to comply at the time that they was told to do their job assignment. They was told to do their job assignment, and they didn't comply to it. I don't care if they was what they call heavy hitters. Oh, okay. They call them heavy hitters, is what I heard. Heavy hitters, where they shoot guns, physical guns, knives, or well, mainly guns. They shoot guns, or they shoot from their mouth, or they use their fist. They fist fight. Okay, they heavy hitters, and these were loyals. And they not like children around, but they doing what children do. They doing what other children do. So you won't know exactly. And this is the good news. I'm reporting the good news that other people are afraid to report. I cannot be afraid to report this. This is needed. You have to know this. This is for the people who are in the streets. You know what I'm talking about. And you may not know what I'm talking about. You may not even understand. But your spirit is going to understand when you hear these words coming from my mouth, like I said before. But so these young men that I keep seeing in my vision, Von the King, King Von, and all of them, but he's the main one. These people were heavy hitters at the time that they were heavy hitters. Now, this guy that I keep seeing, King Von the King, he was loyal to his friends at one point and did some murders because of his job assignment. But when he started to change, because he did a killing to some loyals too. It was some people who were also loyals that he did some killing too. But he didn't know any better. He didn't know any better until he actually started changing. And he still wouldn't know that, wow, I killed some loyals. He wouldn't know that. So it is a thing where you can be a loyal and you kill some loyals. Some loyal beings. The ones that are not loyal still are alive. And it's still some people who are loyals who still alive, but they will not comply to the job assignment. Which is when you get on your job, like when you on a job and you first get there and you like, okay, this is the job. Now they teach you the job assignment, okay, and now you knowing the job assignment. In this case, rapping. The person was rapping, and as they were rapping, They was a rapper. They were introduced into the job assignment, which is they supposed to rap, collect their money, and go home, right? Stay in the studio, do what they need to do to promote their music, right? That's the job assignment. But you got all this other stuff that surrounded the job assignment that I'm seeing in the spirit. It's all this other stuff that surrounded the job assignment. And also, the Father is bringing me to how when I was on certain jobs, when you first start the job, you got this. But everybody don't roll to those 5 things that's within the boundaries, which is why people always hitting boundaries. They don't comply to those 5 boundaries. They comply to the job. They comply to the job assignment plus some more added stuff that they have done because they've been long time in the game. Okay, so that means that they have adapted to some evil. They have adapted to some evil because of the job assignment and the boss that they have, which is the producer, the director, and supervisor, or whoever it may be, that they have to get their stuff into in order to build the audience outside around them. All right, that's when it gets into the big money, where they have to, the followers, by the following, that's the money. So now you getting into the producer and the directors and all of those people who want their money, which is, I told you about insurance. We are, when you own these job assignments, you are insured by these people. Understand? You should go back and see my video about being insured to some of these people. People are using insurance money in order to put a killing and to keep these people within their stuff, which is why the gangbanging stuff, where they not gonna let you go no more. They not finna let you go no more. You are insured to them through something. And money comes in so many different ways when it comes to insurance money. That's some paper. So now you know that paper is insurance money. That's still money. Understand? That paper is still money. No matter how it comes, that's still money. So when you write your name on the paper, that's money. Now you are now you have to comply, and they feel like you got to comply to the job assignment. So when they hire people, which is what they do on a regular job too, but it's escalated in the industry, which I speak about a lot, because the Lord is telling me to speak about it, because it's so many people from the industry I keep seeing in my vision coming to me. So I have to say this, even though I don't know, but I'm seeing it into the spirit realm. I have to still say it, even if you feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. I do. I'm saying it to where you can understand it, so that you do know, and you can understand it, and you can verbalize it to who needs it, because you need to do that after you hear what I'm saying. So again, like I'm gonna use an example. Like when I'm on a job, when I first get on a job, and the Lord God was saying this to me, when I first get on a job, you understand the job assignment that you was given from when you first got on the job, right? But there are evil tactics around the job where the supervisor and the manager, or the general manager, the people who are within the company trying to run it, they will go and convert messages to one of the employees. Yeah, you ain't know that, right? So, but now you know. So don't act like you don't know what's going on, y'all. Y'all know. It's just we sometimes forget that this is stuff that's still in play. Even in the industry, it's still in play like this. On the regular job, it's still in play like this. So don't think that this stuff is different just because it's an industry. This all is industry field. If you working on a job, this is still industry field. Understand? All right. So it don't matter if they making music of their own. They still is this is industry field. Any job that you work on for another company and you are liable to another person, that's an industry. Okay? That's still an industry. So I'm going to bring it back to remembrance for some, and some you're going to catch up because you still know. You know. So when you're new on the job, again, you get the job assignment, and there's people that the boss man that's in the office that you don't see goes to the people that you don't know that he or she goes to, telling them stuff. Supervisor, general manager, even the highest person, CEO, whatever. Even should I say, when you got your landlords, your maintenance mans, them still high up people. And guess what? They tell people for the office, whoever in that office, they tell people in the neighborhood to set you up. Just in case you ain't know that, maintenance man talks with the manager, the property manager, and property manager talk with whoever else is in the office with them. They all talk. And the maintenance people are the ones that know the tenants. They associate with the tenants from time to time. So they will have those certain feed the tenants, and also the property manager or the manager of the property will also set things up. So if you like, dog, what happened to my water? My water ain't on. My water ain't working, blah, blah, blah. That's because of that management team. May think this sound crazy, but people are out here doing stuff where you don't know that they doing it. And setting up people when you don't know they setting you up. Oh yeah. Let's say if you don't pay your bill and you late, after that time, you'll start noticing people knocking on your door. And it don't be the manager. It don't be the maintenance man. It be the manager and maintenance man telling your business to the right person that they know gonna set you up. Oh yeah, they do this. Just telling you. It's out here. Evil is out here. So that is the same thing that when you get on the job, these people, these CEOs, which is the highest above, the general manager, which is inside the company, and the manager, which is inside the company, you'll be able to see these people. Sometimes they may be outside and they may take visits to you, to the company from time to time. Depends on what their job assignment is, okay? So they might be next to you, or they may be outside of the company and take visits to the company, the industry. So anyway, these people are telling some of the employees stuff that don't got no mind of their own, basically, and they're easily to do a good job. All right, they quote unquote, they do a good job. They good at their job, meaning that the general manager love them, the manager love them, and feed them the goodness of their mouth to these employees. So these employees are good at their job. They are good at their job, but they don't understand how much of the evil that is inside of them. All right, being that they like to be puffed up of the stuff that they do. Okay, they like to be puffed up of the stuff that they do. So they will go and direct you. They'll show you the ropes, and you got to copy everything that they do. If you don't comply, which is that word, if you don't comply to the copying of what they do, out of here. Either by death, and death comes in many different ways. So I'm going to say by death in general. And either off the face of the earth, or death of an accident, or death, or you completely fired off the job, or let go of, like I said I was. But yet, God saved my soul and my body from that situation. Do you understand me? Okay. And that's how he can do it. But you have to be in a praying position to make it through. All right? And you got to be reading your Bible. You got to be a dedicated person to Christ, Jesus, to make it through out of that. And you got to have these times to yourself. You need these times to yourself alone to make it through. You understand? So these people comply. The ones that are easily accessed to being built up in their confidence. They don't have confidence, should I say. Confidence is different. But these people are arrogant. Yes, say that. These people are arrogant. And they're arrogant because they do their job. They do their job assignment. They do what they are told to do, plus more. Like they will, if the job assignment requires them going to and fro and doing it real fast, they'll do it real fast and get it done and come back like automatic robots. You understand? Robotic. But a person who doesn't comply, believe me, that manager looking at you, that co-manager, that general manager, supervisors, they looking at you. They looking at you and they know that you're not complying. You still taking your time. You still knowing that that's not safe to speed. You still knowing, you looking at it. You looking at the stuff that need to be looked at. They don't want you to look on at that. They don't want you to have self-awareness. They don't want you to have self-awareness. What they want you to do is do your job assignment that you was assigned to do. Even if that is paying a bill, do your job assignment that you was supposed to do. But they don't understand that you run to a different master. Understand? They don't know that you run to a different master. And your steps is different, which is why God says that the believer and the unbeliever alike, as long as you do to the promise, as long as you seed into the faith, you still are counted by your steps as a faithful servant. Still. Because you are self-aware of what's going on about yourself. You're not worried about nobody else. You are self-aware about what's going on with yourself. And so therefore, wherever you walk, you doing what you need to do for others as well. And now you are doing those things before God. You understand? You are doing those things before God. But the people who understand the job assignments, they don't like that you're doing the opposite. You're not complying. That's when it comes to the King Von and all of those people who have died off of the face of the earth. And even if some of these people have killed other people before, that's because they didn't know at the time when they was doing the job assignment. So everybody do their job assignment until they come self-aware. But when you come self-aware, that opens you up to aware of the things surrounding you. You understand? That's why God says to love yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's why God always say that. And you gotta love God. Because you loving yourself as you love your neighbors. You're not being arrogant. You're not being prideful. You doing what you doing, loyal, which is in the place of honoring. But at the time, you honoring fools, which is why you're supposed to move away for self-time. Time to yourself. self-awareness. It's not called self-awareness for nothing. So that's why you are to move away from the fool, because you cannot honor them. And that's why I'm saying this now, that the fool is a fool and you cannot honor the fool. Meaning, I'm saying that because this, when it says that, I want you always remember this right here, what I'm saying. When it says do not honor the fool, it's saying that you cannot fully, wholeheartedly be involved with these people and think that's all it is. So I'm saying that 100% you cannot be involved in knowing and thinking that these people are your all in all. So that means that you can't have listen to them and listen to this. That ain't saying I'm not pulling them separated, splitting it down the middle, meaning that, oh, well, so that means I'm halfway with them and I'm halfway with not. No, that means you cannot fully be attached to these people at all. You have to, even if you are around them, you have to fully detach yourself. Get that time to yourself, which is called self-awareness, so that you can be able to function without going mentally crazy and going off the face of this earth for doing something in an unforgiving attitude on to somebody else. Do you understand what I'm saying now? I pray you do. But you will. You'll get it. So, again, it's a lot of people that are fools that you cannot listen to. So that means that you got to detach yourself and get into the company of yourself so that God can speak to you yourself. Meaning, so mainly what I'm saying is, you worry about you, like the little girl said in that video. You worry about yourself. You worry about yourself. I do this. You do that. You worry about yourself. That's what that means. You do that. Understand? And you worried about yourself, it's going to be totally different than an arrogant person worrying about themselves. It's nothing wrong with this stuff. It's nothing right. It's why this is why you're not supposed to worry about right or wrong. This ain't nothing to be worried about, right or wrong. That would make it religious as well. Worried about right or wrong. So what, they eat veggies and you don't? So what, they eat meat and you don't? Don't worry about the right and the wrong. Don't worry about that. Worry about yourself. Get in the company of yourself and read the Bible. Pray. Get some self-awareness for yourself. Okay? That's that. And I'm telling you, stuff may take time, but it's going to happen. God's going to protect you soon as you pray.